Hello and welcome back to the Glow With Me podcast. I am so glad to be in your ear holes again. I was away for a couple weeks. We had a little 2-week hiatus because I was on holiday in Bali, so I just had a really nice time away and I wasn't able to record an episode as soon as I got back because I went straight into work mode. But I'm so glad to be here again and help you level up, becoming 1% better every single day, working on your healthy habits, becoming a better version of yourself, and just being happy, because that is literally the goal in life. We want to be healthy, we want to be happy, we want to be hot, we want to be all those types of things. I'm here to talk to you about something that I think is highly recommended, especially for the springtime, and that is having a soft girl morning routine. Now we're going to get into all the little steps, how you can customize it to yourself, and what it means to really be a soft girl, but also go after your habits, go after your goals, and go after your happiness. So we're going to get all into the nitty gritty very shortly, but I want to talk to you guys about some of my favorites over the last couple weeks because I've been away, so there's been a lot of new things that I've loved, and also some favorites from my holiday. Because if you are planning a holiday to Bali now, or maybe you want to in the future, I'm going to recommend some food places we went to, some day clubs we went to, and just things that actually made the holiday so much fun. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm going to start off with a favorite that I got in the mail when I got back, so I needed to stock up on some skincare. So I got some skincare from Lila Beauty, which actually has a range of not only Korean but also other brands of skincare. So I also got my La Roche-Posay Cicaplast, which I am in love with for healing my skin barrier, because that is what I'm focusing on at the moment. And I feel like my skin really broke out in Bali. Now I've heard that this can happen because of obviously the water, which I tried to wash my face with a water bottle as much as I could, but we went to Water Bomb, which is like the water park. We also went snorkeling and we went to a few other places, so there was obviously times where the water was getting on my face, and I feel like I broke out in lots of little baby breakouts, also probably not eating the best. But yeah, I feel like my skin literally took like 4 days to return back to normal once I got back home, and I was using my Cicaplast every single night, so that is a staple in my routine. But I also got some new Korean skincare, so I got the 345 moisturizer cream. I think it's from Dr. Althea, I think. Let me just put it here for you guys. It is amazing. So I'd seen this as a barrier repair cream, so I was thinking it would be like Cicaplast. Now if you've tried Cicaplast, it's a very thick moisturizer. It is very, very thick, and I feel like you need to put it on, and it is amazing if you have dry, dehydrated skin. However, I think for some oily prone people it can block your pores, but it doesn't do that for me. It literally just repairs my skin. But I thought that this 345 cream would be the same, but it is not. It is so, it's not like super lightweight, like the thinnest kind of sunscreen lightweight texture, but it is lightweight for a moisturizer while still feeling like it's giving you all those ceramides, all the hydration, and I absolutely am in love with it. So I've been using that for the last 5 nights, and I really, really enjoy that as my moisturizer. I also love my Beauty of Joseon one and a few other ones, but I feel like this one is just a bit lighter weight, which I feel like might be good for this season as we're going into the warmer months, just so that I'm not clogging my pores at all. And then some favorites of Bali. I'm gonna get them up on my phone for you because we literally had so many that I had to write them down. So we're gonna get into them. So first of all, some food places we went. So if you don't know, we are foodies, so we like to go and enjoy the cuisine that we can find. We like to try a little bit of everything. We tried Japanese, we tried Mediterranean, we tried modern Australian, we tried Indonesian, we tried all the different food that we possibly could when we were there. We tried pastries, and it is literally just it brings me so much happiness to find good places to eat, and it just is like a highlight when we're just looking about where we're gonna go, what we're gonna get dressed in, what we're gonna go buy. And I find that making memories like that is more important to us than sometimes buying and having souvenirs. I feel like memories and photos of where we go to eat or where we explore are what we love to do on holidays. And if you are someone like me, then these might be some places that you want to visit if you are heading to Bali anytime soon, or maybe you just want to put that on your bucket list for when you do go. So we went to this place. This is probably our favorite meal of the entire trip, so I'm gonna start with this one, and it was a seafood paella, however you want to say it, and it was at Sazon, so Sazon, and it was on the main strip of Canggu. So we'd went and walked down from our villa, and we went and watched the sunset at the beach, and then we had a cocktail at one of the bars where you could watch the sunset. So we went and took some photos there. That was super beautiful, but we didn't really feel like that food for dinner. So we were gonna go check out a Japanese place, but I knew that they were gonna be fully booked. It was a Saturday night, and I hadn't booked anywhere. So then we were just walking up the main strip of Canggu, and we were like, okay, where are we gonna eat? What looks nice? There was a few places that kind of stood out to us. We'd look at the menu and we'd kind of think about it, see what we were feeling, and we stumbled across this Spanish place, and it was so quiet. Like, it was the most beautiful bar that I could ever even picture. Like, there was so many lights, the bar was all in the middle, you had tables all around the outside, and there was only like 4 tables full. So I was like, okay, is this place gonna be good? You know, when you get that vibe when somewhere is full, you know it's gonna be great. However, this was like a missed opportunity. I think people just kept walking past it because it was kind of elevated, so you had to walk up the stairs to get to it. So you probably didn't know what you were in for just from seeing it out the front. It kind of looked like a hotel as well. It was the best paella, hands down. I absolutely loved it. We took the rest takeaway, and I was determined to eat it. However, I was still feeling a bit sick because I did get sick on the way to Bali, which is a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But this paella was literally hands down the best one I've ever eaten, and I literally want to go around and like taste some more to see if I can find one that matches it. It had calamari, it had prawns, and it had scallops in there, and it was squid ink infused, so it was black. And then it also had these like hollandaise kind of sprinkled around it, and crispy like onions and stuff, and it was crispy on the bottom. It was so delicious. I loved it. We also had some entrees to start with, which were divine. But that paella it's literally lives in my head rent-free at this point in time. So that was one of my favorites. So if you are a paella fan, if you're a seafood fan, they also had like a chicken one. I'm pretty certain they had a mushroom one and another one. They had 4 different types of paellas that you could choose from, and it was so good for sharing. Like, literally 3 people could eat that. Also, our next place was called Pasir, I believe. This one was in Ubud, and it was literally a little stumble across. We had it for lunch, and it was probably the best lunch that we had for the entire trip, which is huge. And we only spent like $45. $45 for 2 people for lunch. Now, let me tell you what we had that only cost us $45 Australian dollars. So I had a coconut lychee like frozen drink. It was not a cocktail, it was more like a mocktail, but it was the best drink I've ever had on the trip. And the fact that it was a mocktail, I literally want to recreate it right now. I literally need to find a recipe and recreate this thing and show you guys, because it was delicious. And then my husband, he had a like coffee frappe, and then so they were like $5 each. I was like, score. Like, normally that would be like $8 here in Australia. And then we got scallops. So we got scallops with like a lemon, and there was truffle, and there was like chimichurri or whatever was on there. We got octopus carpaccio, which was actually so good. I kind of not even explain how they cooked this. My husband knows more of that than I do because he's a chef, but it was divine, and it had like all these little toppings and dressings with it. It was literally the best thing ever. Then we had some flatbread and hummus, and the hummus was amazing. And lastly, we had za'atar fries. So this was like a Mediterranean inspired place. It had things that were giving Greek vibes, like the za'atar, and there were some other things on the menu, and then the hummus, and then it had a lot of seafood as well. So I absolutely love that, and that was a highlight. I wish we went back there the following day for lunch, because it was that good. The next place, I'm gonna butcher the name of this, but it's called Shichirin, and it was in Ubud again, and it was a Japanese place. Now, this place was so tiny. It had really good reviews on Google Reviews, which is how we found it, and it was literally like down the road from our villa, because our villa backed onto 2 streets, so that was literally perfect location. Highly recommend that villa. If you want to know what it is, please reach out. But we went down to this Japanese place, and it was this tiny little Japanese place. It was a teppanyaki bar where they did it right in front of you, and we got so much sushi. We got like salmon tartare, we got prawn toast, we got things with eel, we got all these different types of seafood and sushi and things, and it was absolutely divine. I loved it so much. So that was a super amazing highlight, and the cocktails were top tier as well. What else did we do in Bali that was super good, or that I would recommend, is getting a massage. You've got to do it when you're in Bali. The prices are just unreal compared to when you're in Australia, and it's good to just relax when you're on holiday. Sometimes, if you're like me, you don't treat yourself to things like massages, even though you want to when you're at home. But when you're on holiday, treat yourself, go get it done. I had like a full body massage, I had a scrub, I had a foot massage, and I even had a facial all in one, and it was literally just so heavenly just to have a morning of relaxation and pampering myself. We also went snorkeling, which I was unsure of what it would be like, but it was the best thing ever. We went to this place called Blue Lagoon, and we also went to another bay which was just around the corner. The amount of fish that we saw was crazy. There was so many different types of fish, all different colors swimming around us. Even the coral was quite beautiful. So I highly recommend, if you are able to get a day trip where you do snorkeling in that area, please go and do it, because it was an experience. I didn't know that there was many places from Bali that you could go snorkeling. I know that you can go off of like Nusa Penida or the Gili Islands, but I didn't know you could go off Bali. So that was really cool. And then we also went to this day club after snorkeling and quad bike riding, and it was beautiful. It had an infinity pool, it had a bar, it had amazing food, it had the best views, and it was just a really good spot where you want to unwind, especially after such a busy morning of doing all these activities. It was really nice to just stop, switch off, and just chill out for a bit. So that day club was really, really nice. I'll put the name here because I am going to butcher saying that as well. So these are some places that I would recommend you put on your Bali bucket list if you are going. Find also a day tour that takes you around and does all the fun things with you if you want to explore a bit more. I feel like next time, if we do go again, we're going to definitely go to some of these food places again, because hands down they were amazing. But I am someone who likes to explore new places every time I go. So we hadn't stayed in Canggu, and we hadn't stayed in Uluwatu, and we hadn't stayed in Ubud before. So these were 3 new places that I wanted to stay at, that I wanted to see, and it was really, really nice. But we just took a nice, slow, relaxing holiday. But sometimes that is needed, and I cannot wait to go on another holiday. I'm literally like planning it in the works now. If you know, you know. I'm someone that just wants to go around and travel and see as much of the world as I possibly can, and also eat the cuisines and enjoy, you know, the finer things in life, and take my husband around the world with me. So that is what we're going to do. Let's get into the affirmation or the quote of the week. So this is something that you are going to take with you throughout your week. You're going to think about it. You're going to memorize it. You're going to tell yourself it every day. Write it down on your phone notes right now, or maybe write it down on a piece of paper if you like to journal on a piece of paper. And it is, the more you water yourself, the more you will bloom. Now I chose this one because I felt like I needed this. So I was feeling a little bit down. I feel a little bit overwhelmed with my to-do list for the last couple of days, and I feel like there is just so much on my plate right now. And I love to prioritize myself. I love to prioritize my health. And I feel like some of my habits are slipping. I feel like some of the things that I said I wanted to focus on a couple months ago have been slipping. So I need to just realign with myself, water myself regularly, make sure I'm getting my self-care in, but also my healthy habits, also my self-development routine, also the other things that will lift me up and make me be in a happier mood, make me be a better person, make me feel accomplished, because feeling accomplished and fulfilled can go hand in hand with feeling happy as well. And sometimes like relaxing is so amazing, but I also have goals that I want to reach, and when I hit them, that gives me a dopamine boost that I want to have. So this is what I think of when I think of that quote, the more you water yourself, the more you will bloom, is that flowers don't just appear overnight. You don't like plant a seed and then suddenly there's a flower the next day. No, just the same as abs. You don't go and work out once and then suddenly have abs the next day. Just the same as a new mindset. It doesn't just magically appear straight away after you've done one self-development or one affirmation. Acne doesn't disappear overnight when you put on a spot treatment. It can take time. There are so many different things that I can think of that you want to happen overnight. Like, believe me, I want my acne to go away overnight. I want my mindset to shift overnight and be happy and positive and think that the world is abundant and all these types of things. And I want to think that I could have abs the next day after a workout. We are all the same. We want these things, and we're kind of accustomed to getting dopamine hits straight away, to getting happiness straight away when we're scrolling on our phone. But that is not the reality of life. Sometimes you have to work on things. You have to put the work in when you work out. You have to do the self-development. You have to do the affirmations. You have to rework your brain. You have to do all these things and put in the work to be able to see yourself bloom. So this is your reminder to put into your week what you can for your self-development. If that is reading a self-development book, put that into your calendar for the week. If that is telling yourself affirmations in the morning, put that into your calendar. If that is journaling on Monday or Sunday every single week, put it into your calendar. If that is going to work out, if that is going to walk outside, if that is making sure you're meal prepping and making healthy food for yourself, put these things into your calendar, put them as to-dos, put them as must-dos, put them as a priority on your list. Because when you water yourself, when you do these tasks that are going to lift you up and make you feel healthier and happier and hotter, you are going to bloom. You are going to bloom into the happiest, hottest, and healthiest version of yourself, which we all want to bloom and do. And I feel like that really goes in line with like what my podcast is about, what my channel is about, what I want this space to be for everyone. I want to have little habits that you can incorporate, not all at once, but in little time frames, and what works for you so that you can bloom and become the best version of yourself. So without further ado, I feel like that was a really long intro, but I feel like there was so much to catch you guys up on after going on holiday, and I really wanted to share those favorites with you because they are living rent-free in my head at the moment. But we're going to get into this episode, which is all about how you can create a soft girl morning routine for spring, what that means, how you can customize it to yourself, and how you can incorporate like healthier habits into your life. Now, this is just what I would recommend. This is sometimes what I feel like works for most people, and it is what can tune your brain into how you're going to become better, how you're going to focus more on your habits, and how you're going to grow not only mentally, not only physically, but in all aspects of your life. So we're going to start off with the first one, which I think is the most important, is when you wake up in the morning, please do not reach for your phone. Do not start scrolling. Make sure you have the first 30 minutes to 1 hour of your day off of your phone. Don't look at it. Obviously, you probably got your alarm on there. You can go through your alarm, but don't start scrolling on TikTok. Don't start scrolling on Instagram. Don't start just mindlessly scrolling, and because you're already going to go and start comparing yourself to other people. You're maybe going to see something and get sucked into just being on your phone and not in real life for a moment. So just start your day with being in real life, being with yourself, being with your family, and really getting aligned with the mood that you want to have for the rest of the day. Next one is make your bed. If you can, make your bed straight away. Why? Because it is linked with how you're going to be more productive for the day. It's already going to have like one thing ticked off your bucket list for the day, which makes you feel like you can then go on to achieve more things throughout the day. And it just means that you're also not going to crawl straight back into that bed. As comforting and cozy that could be, we're not going to crawl back into there because we have things to do. We are up for a reason, and the quicker that you get out of bed, the quicker that you make your bed, you're not going to be reaching to go back in that bed. I highly recommend having your vitamins and your healthy drinks in the morning. Now, this could be different for you. It can be different for so many people. I see a lot of people having hot lemon water. I see a lot of people having a green tea. I like to have a juice. If I have my ginger shots in the fridge, I have them, which will help reduce inflammation. You may want to have a big glass of water, or like half of your Yeti or your whole Yeti, whatever it is for you. Make sure you're having a healthy drink before you have like your coffee straight away in the morning. And also make sure you have your vitamins or supplements. I highly believe that these make a difference in personally my skin, but also in the rest of the way that my body functions. So I specifically have acne supplements, which also have my vitamins like zinc, vitamin D, it has my probiotics, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you find supplements that work for you. Now, you could trial and error these, you can go see a naturopath, you can go see a doctor, whatever it is that works for you. And the reason you want to take these straight away is it's going to set the tone. It's going to make you feel like you're already doing something good for your body. Next is having a protein-filled breakfast. So I highly believe that a protein-filled breakfast personally makes me feel better. It makes me function better. My brain functions better. My body functions better during workouts. I feel fuller for longer. I'm not reaching for a snack at like 9 a.m. And it also helps balance my blood sugar. Now, I see this in myself when I either don't have breakfast for a long period of time. So I've had a banana, I've gone for my workout, and then maybe I've had a coffee when I come home, or I'm just not that hungry yet. I've been doing things around the house and I start feeling super lightheaded. I feel like my blood sugar's all over the place, and I feel like a protein-rich breakfast really just cuts any of that out. I don't get the kind of fogginess in my head, and I highly recommend, if you can, fill your plate up with protein. And this is a trial and error for me personally, because I am looking at adding more protein in to all my meals at the moment, and also my snacks, so that I can reach a higher protein threshold, because I feel like for such a long time I didn't prioritize protein. I was having things like yogurt and granola and fruit for breakfast, or oats with a few fruits, but they just weren't making me full, and my head was all over the place. It was foggy. I still felt tired when I got to work. Whereas now I have like eggs on toast, I'll have chorizo, I'll have some cottage cheese, I'll have avocado, I'll have healthy fats and a healthy protein, and it just makes me feel so switched on for the rest of the day. So I love that. And believe me, you might see a difference too. I hope that you do if you start switching your breakfast up to a protein-filled breakfast, and see how you feel for a week. And then you can just monitor what is best for your body. I love doing a simple skincare routine in the morning. Why? Because your skin has probably already soaked up all the beautiful, amazing products that you put on your skin last night. So in the morning, depending on your skin type, you may wash your skin with a cleanser. I personally just rinse my skin with water. Some people don't do anything at all. I just feel like I literally need it to wake my eyes up in the morning. So I rinse my skin with some water, and then I pop on some eye cream. I love to do a vitamin C or a brightening or hydrating serum, but at the moment I'm just not doing any serums because I'm working on my skin barrier. But you could go in with a serum such as that, which will help brighten and protect your skin from free radicals in the morning. I also love a good niacinamide in the morning. And then you can go in with a gua sha or a facial massage. So you can do this with your hands, you can do it with a tool, whatever works for you. I love opening up my lymph nodes, opening up and getting rid of any puffiness with the gua sha. I haven't done this for like the last month, so I need to really get into it again. I feel like it does snatch your face. It makes you just feel more awake in the morning, and I love the feeling after it as well. And then obviously don't forget a moisturizer and a sunscreen, of course, because if you are going outside at any point of the day, even just to get in your car, you need to have sunscreen, because the biggest thing that is going to aid your skin is the sun. So make sure you're wearing sunscreen. I am trialing some new sunscreen, so I cannot wait to see how they go. And also just another thing to boost your confidence, make you feel a little bit better. I love to do this before Pilates because I haven't got my full face of makeup on. I brush my eyebrows with a brow gel to just get them in place, get them a bit neater. I also do a little eyelash curl or a tiny little lick of mascara. And this will just make you feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more awake, and it can really just boost your mood. And you could even put a little like green color correcting on any pimples or breakouts that you have, just to minimize the look of them, especially if you're just going to go work out and you don't want to put a full face on. Just put a little color correcting cream on. That will make a big difference. If you're going to be in your soft girl morning routine, I highly recommend adding journaling, reading, or meditating into your morning routine. Now, this could look different for you depending on the time that you have. If you don't have any time in the morning, if you are literally rushing from the moment you wake up to the moment that you head out the door for work, then we need to change that. You need to get up maybe 20 minutes earlier than what you do now, and try and prioritize your sleep still, but prioritize yourself in the morning. Because if you set your tone of the day right, if you set the tone of your day with happiness, with gratitude, with meditation, with mindfulness, you're going to have a better rest of your day. So if you can just prioritize that for the next month, see how you go with waking up 20 minutes earlier to add some journaling, reading, or meditating to your morning. It could be as simple as journaling 3 things that you're grateful for, your intention for the day, and how you want to feel today. I literally have this in my daily journal, and it takes me like 5 minutes to do, and just being more in tune with how you want to spend your day, how you want to be as a person, will just make the rest of your day go more intentional for you. Will just make the rest of your day more aligned with who you want to be. If you have a little bit more time up your sleeve, or maybe you want to do this once a week or every 3 days, you could write down what future you would be doing. You could write down the habits, you could write down how she acts, you could write down how she talks to people, you can write down what she is focusing on for her life. You could write down the things that you could do right now to become future you. I feel like this just really gets you in the mindset of who you want to become, reminding yourself of the habits that she has, reminding yourself of the life that she's going to live, because we can get so worked up in the life we currently have right now that we can forget our goals and our future and the happiness that we want, because we get so wrapped up in all the stress, in all the everyday madness that we have around us. So it's good to just tune in with her. tune in with who we want to be so that we can get back on track, because I am very prone to getting off track. You are not the only one. So just remember that you need to just refocus, realign, and readjust your mindset every now and again to make sure that you are on track. When it comes to reading, you could be reading something fiction like I am reading right now. You could be reading a self-development non-fiction book. You could be reading something which is like 101 essays to change the way you think, where you read an essay a day to be able to just give you something to think about, something to ponder over. You could even listen to a podcast, which is like a 5-10 minute podcast, which is going to be on something that you want to know about, whether it's mindset, whether it's manifestation, whether it's daily affirmations, whether it is business related, whatever it is. Listen to something or read something that is going to just put you in a better mood, put you in a better mindset, and again, just be realigned with your goals and your future. Now, if you're into meditation, you could do guided meditations. There are so many on like Spotify, YouTube. You could just sit there simply with your thoughts in silence and just work on your breathing technique. You could sit there and ask yourself how you feel, how you want to feel, how you want your day to go. You can sit there and just let the thoughts pass through your brain. There are so many different types of meditation, and I'm open to learning about them. I feel like this is something that I forget to do a lot, but I've heard such great things from people who have done it and who just take that time for themselves in the morning. And this is what I personally do when I go move my body. Moving your body is another amazing thing to do in your morning routine. It is still a soft girl morning routine, and you can move your body. You could be walking, you could be running, you could be doing a HIIT class workout, you could be going to the gym, you could be going to Pilates, whatever it is. Moving your body is going to get you out of your head and into your body. It's going to wake up your muscles for the day. It's going to be so beneficial if you sit down at work all day. It is just going to make sure that you feel like you've already ticked something again off your list to do today. And moving your body is so crucial, because we are not getting any younger, unfortunately. So we need to be making sure we look after the body that we have. Make sure that we look after the muscles. Make sure that we're moving them. Make sure that we're training them. We're getting stronger. Make sure that we have mobility and flexibility in our joints, because we are young right now, but that could all change in the future. So make sure you're looking after the body that the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, has given you, because it is a vessel that is keeping you protected. It is a privilege to be able to move your body every day, because there are people out there who cannot. So just go ahead and move it. Yes, you may be uncomfortable. Yes, it may hurt. Yes, it may be not super fun, but you can move your body, so just do it. And like I was saying before, when it comes to meditation, I use my Pilates time as meditation. Sometimes there's like a 5-10 minute stretch at the beginning or the after of the class, and that time is just for me to like think about how I want to feel for the rest of the day, how I want to act for the rest of the day, how grateful I am that I have these 45 minutes to move my body in a way that I love, how grateful I am that I have a beautiful household and I have high protein breakfast waiting for me at home, and I have a healthy meal prepped lunch for me to take to work, and I have a job that I enjoy, and I have friends that lift me up and that I'm surrounded with. There are so many things that you can be grateful for, and it's just tuning into that gratefulness. It's tuning into the abundance. It's tuning into who you want to be, the happiness that you want to create, because our thoughts literally control our world. And I am in constant battle with this as well. Believe me, I am just like you. I have days where I'm down. I have times where I think I'm overwhelmed. But we are in a beautiful part of our life right now, and you need to reflect on these beautiful parts of your life and be grateful for them, because there is so much more to come. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope you got a few tips and tricks and you've written them down for having a soft girl morning routine. Now, it can look different for you. You may not be able to do all of these things in your morning routine, but I highly recommend, if there are things that stood out to you in this podcast or this YouTube video that you want to incorporate into your morning routine, because at the moment you feel like you're not prioritizing you. You are not watering your flower. You are not watering yourself and giving yourself what you need to start off your day in a good mood, to start off your day with health, to start off your day with happiness. Then you need to start doing things that prioritize you. You do not want to wake up like 5 to 10 minutes before you have to rush out the house to get to work. Why are you not giving yourself some more time? Why are you not loving yourself more to give yourself what you deserve and to feel fulfilled and already have things ticked off that list? Because it is a great feeling to have that done, and that will just set you in a better mood for life in general. So if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review or comment down below from whatever platform you're on, because it literally does mean the world to me that I could make a small difference, or I could motivate, or I could encourage you to feel better about yourself, or you to grow healthier habits. Because I was this girl a couple years ago who wanted to go to Pilates. I was this girl who wanted to be outside and walking every day. I was this girl who wanted to be more healthier, who wanted to feel confident in her body and did not. And I've had to make little tweaks and changes to my routine, and I am still making little tweaks and changes to my routine to become 1% better every single day, to become happier, hotter, more confident, to become healthier, to become the version of myself that I wanted to be, that I'm inspired by other people online, because I see the routines that they have and I think, wow, how can they do that? Like, I don't have that much time in the morning, but I decided to wake up earlier. I decided to have a gua sha right next to, my bathroom when I do my skincare. I decided to buy more fruit and more protein-rich breakfast instead of opting for something sugary. I decided to change up things that were normal, and change can be uncomfortable at first, but change is where you're going to see the results. So I highly recommend, if you enjoyed this, please let me know. Please follow me on Instagram as well. I endeavor to create more content for you guys over there, but I hope that this podcast helped one of you guys, just to encourage you to take the extra step for yourself, to give yourself more time, more love, and to water the flower that you are so you can bloom. So if you enjoyed this, please make sure that you write down that intention in your phone, comment, like, and subscribe. Have a great day, girls. Bye.